Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
All right, good evening, everyone. Looks like we've got about a minute and 50 left here of practice. And forgive me here if I have a little bit of trouble. I had a little bit of dental work here this morning, so had a tooth extracted. So forgive me if I got a little bit more of a list than usual. We work here through the night. Another thing to take note here, for all you that are watching, I already talked to the race admins. We're going to do what we can here on my end. I'm actually working on the fly here to see if I can correct an issue that might be going on. I know where the issue lies now. It's just a matter of me getting together enough to get the problem completely resolved, and that is the skew on iRacing apparently is messing with my processor. So in turns, my skew will sometimes jump up too high. Therefore, that's where my blink comes into play. It is not the internet. So a lot of people, they see cars blinking, oh, well, your internet's screwed up. Not in my case. My case is because of the skew. Therefore, my internet's fine. I never lose connection that way. I lose connection coming to the skew. Therefore, I've gone in races. In fact, one race I was in, I went from leading the race by 4 seconds to ended up being in 5th behind the leader by 10 seconds. So, normal internet blinking will not really, from what I've experienced in the past, will not do that. This is, again, with the skew. My skew is where I'm getting off because my frame and the internet server of the game are on 2 different wavelengths per se on set time. So it's, I don't know really how to explain it. I know what, like I said, I know what the issue is. It's about a $500 fix. So I'm trying to slowly, on my fixed income, bring that together to bring you guys even better racing action. As we're here at the end of practice, everything seems to be stabilized at the moment. We're just going to double check this to make sure. Once I can find the program I need. So I'm completely aware of that. Everything here is why is that not on set thing? So that would be why. Somehow I ended up on a different game or on a different mode, and it hopefully it'll smooth itself out here as we get along, as qualifying is underway, as we're currently walking at the 00 Stephen Shu out of North Wilkesboro in that machine. Now we got Matthew Gall out here in the Mag Real Estate number 78 out of New Braunfels, Texas. As the times are coming in, Alex Bahiri coming in the pole position tonight so far with a 29.864, followed by Matt Gall with a 29.914. Jimmy Pilan, now in 4, the Stephen Shu brings it up there into 2nd place, and Chris Barker now brings it up onto the pole with a 29.772. Times are really starting to reel in now, as we see Kai Shappert now with a 29.811. And Alex Bahiri comes in once again with a 29.691. Jimmy Pilan comes in 2nd now with a 29.761. Kai Shappert back down to 4th. There comes John Houston up there with a 29.667 here tonight in the James Wagner Welding Gen 6 Series here, brought to you by the Roughneck Racing League. As times are really, really flying in here as we're getting ready to rock and roll here tonight. And it looks like so far everything's holding steady. We'll see if that holds true as the night progresses. As we see a lot of drivers down here on the pit road now, down where you see Johnny Hurst out there on the track, going to make his laps around in that Red Bull number 58 machine. And if you see anything wrong there on the broadcast, let me know. We will fix it prompt to. And thank you, Roughneck Racing. Wishing everybody a good luck tonight in racing here tonight, as we're set to roll here in the Texas Motor Speedway. Hopefully everybody's in for a nice night of racing, as we're sitting here watching Johnny Hurst lay down his lap, and he's currently sitting 13th with a 29.961. So these drivers are very, very close on times. Trying to see who we got out on track. Looks like we might have Norman Root. No, Norman Root qualifies with a There you see him there in that number 80. Qualifies in the 5th place with a 29.724. See if we got anybody else coming out on track. The two that I have not seen out on track yet is Chris Melton. And then the likes there of Chantelli Pottle. Pottle is the race controller, so I do not expect her to come onto the track. Chris Melton, no, I'm surprised I haven't seen him come on to the track yet in that number 49 machine. But we're here at Texas. Qualifying is ended from what I can tell. Let's see. Yes, qualifying is ended. 4 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. That is it. That is all qualifying road here this evening for the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series here at Texas. As we're waiting on the grid. Grid here tonight. In first on the pole is going to be John Houston in that number 28 machine. Chris Barker starting there second. And the number 46 Ninja Turtles machine. Alex Bahiri starting there in third. Inside row number 2, Jason Kinney on the outside of row number 2 in 4th position, driving that number 66 machine. Norman Root there in the number 80. Starting inside, row number 3 in 5th. Jimmy Pilin Rowdy in that number 29 Goodwrench machine, starting in 6th, outside, row number 3. In 7th, inside, row number 4 is going to be Chris Phillips in that number 6. Kai Shappert in the 43 machine, starting in 8th. As Matthew Barker sitting here in 9th in the 96. In 10th, outside row number 5 is going to be Jeffrey Ledford in that 01 machine. Stephen Shue in the 00 will be starting 11th, with James Wagoner, otherwise known as Doogie, will be starting in 12th, outside row number 6 in that number 30 machine. On back in the grid in 13th is going to be Matthew Gall in that number 78. Johnny Hurst in that 58 machine, starting outside row number 7. In the number 14, Chris Ramsey in the 15th position, inside row number 8. Start in the 13 machine. Chad Hawkins in the number 84 will start outside row number 8 in the number 16 spot. Rick Baldwin starting 17th. That'll be inside row number 9 and the number 19. And 18th, it's Chris Melton in the number 49. And there you see him at the end of the field. And then Pottle will be here at the end of the pack. As our grid is heading off pit road, we'll take a quick look at the stats here. I am your announcer, Adam Flieger, here on Flieger Farm TV on the pole here tonight, as we're here at the 1.5 mile Texas Motor Speedway. 78 degrees for a track temp, 78 degrees for an ambient temperature, 45% humidity with partly cloudy skies, 2-mile-per-hour winds here for this evening's race as we get set to roll here from Texas. Christopher Barker out front there on the front, or I'm sorry, John Houston out there on the pole position. And as we get ready to roll here tonight, looking at about the 6th position there with Norman Root and Jimmy Pilin Rowdy. Jimmy hasn't. I kind of thought that their Roughneck Racing network. Norman Root is making his debut here tonight, and that's kind of what I was thinking, as I haven't seen that name around all season long, so I kind of figured that was a new name here. And we got the 28 of John Houston throwing a new paint scheme on that car tonight in that Krispy Kreme, as I'm pretty sure, yeah, my trading paints is on, as there it is. So I know that's updated, so everybody should be having the correct scheme, as we're going to be green flag racing here down in the corner number 1. And I don't have the right dang camera pack up at the moment, but that's all right. We can make do with what we got here. With the camera pack is still pretty good as they come storming through corner number 1 and 2, down through here onto the backstretch, and John Houston gets out to that early lead. Chris Barker falls back to 4th as Jason Kinney goes to the inside, going to try to get underneath Chris Barker, coming down through 3 and 4. And they are going 3 wide with Jimmy Pilan out there on the outside as they now work off of 4 down here across the front stretch. Down here 3 wide, almost 4 wide. They're fighting up there in the front of the pack. Down here into corner number 1. And whoa, how close was that there with the 46 of Christopher Barker getting up there to the 21, I believe it was, or the 01, I'm sorry, of Jeffrey Ledford. Now, as they work back down here in the corner number 3, 4, there's a little bit of the skew problem that I was talking about. Nothing too serious, but it does create a little bit of havoc here and there. Now we got Jimmy Pilan now down there on the inside. Everybody side by side up here at the front. John Houston still doing a great job out front of leading this race. Jason Kinney, then Christopher Barker, Jeffrey Ledford here in 4th. Alex Bahiri down here in 5th with Ace back here in 6th in that number 96 machine. Jimmy Pilan in 7th, Chris Phillips 8th, Kai Shappert up there on the outside, battling to the inside of the 6th, and with the 01 is loose, ends up falling back from where he's at, still falling back. That is the 01 of Jeffrey Ledford in that Foothills machine, falling back there into about 15th position, was running up there towards the front. Here comes Chris Barker, though, trying to get around Jason Kinney. Now, as Kinney falls back there in the 3rd, Chris Barker goes up there in the 2nd. John Houston, though, out front in that Krispy Kreme machine, looking really good. And how's our debut person looking? He's sitting back here in about 12th in that number 80 machine here for the debut of Norman Root. And he's got James Wagoner down there on the inside as they work through 3 and 4. James going to work up there. Doesn't want to get up there and get into him. I'm sorry, that was through 1 and 2 as they're now working down the backstretch. Here in the 3 and 4 they come. On lap number 5, John Houston still leads the way here as Jason Kinney's there in 3rd, Alex Bahiri there 4th, Matthew Barker there 5th, Johnny Hurst in 6th with Jimmy Pilan there 7th, Chris Phillips in 8th, Stephen Shue 9th, and Kai Shappert rounding out your top 10. And look out, but here comes Jimmy Pilan now as he's trying to get up there to the 58 of Johnny Hurst. And don't see too many battles happening right now on the speedway as everybody's still going single file. But double foul back here at about Matthew Gall, Nathan Root as they're side by side. Gall up on the high side. James Wagner back there right behind. As there you see him come off of 4 down here in the corner number 1. Like I said, I am battling a little bit of a skew issue. I'm unexactly sure why. I haven't fully figured it out other than it being a processor issue on the PC. So I already declared I cannot race until I get that fixed. But so all my efforts are going to go into the broadcasting and hopefully get that fixed. As I know, like I said, pricing for a new processor for me is going to be about $500, and that's to get both the processor and the cooling unit to make sure that processing unit stays cool. Down here in the 1 and 2, they come again back around here off of 2. It is still John Houston as the leader. Oh, come on, guys. Don't do this. Down here in the 3 and 4, you got Christopher Barker now there in 3rd as Jason Kinney gets around him. Now chasing down John Houston out there in front. And Kenny's trying to do what he can. And again, I apologize to all the viewers out there tonight. For some reason, my skew is giving me an issue. I haven't fully figured it out what the issue might be, other than it being a processor. Down here onto the back stretch. Here they come. There comes the Dunkin' Donuts machine. That is the number 20 of Alex Bahiri. He's going to try to roll up here and get back up towards where he started, as he is down a spot from where he started. Jason Kinney is up 2. Barker down 1. biggest mover so far is this man here in the 58. Johnny Hurst is up 8 positions from where he started, currently running 6th here at lap number 10 as they come out of 4 down here, or I'm sorry, back out on 2 down the backstretch. Here at Texas Motor Speedway, there you see Barker going for the lead. Here comes Alec Bahiri underneath Jason Kinney. Alec Bahiri trying to get that position as we're looking at, and it's going to be, I would have thought that was Chris Barker leading that lap, but the ticker's saying it's John Houston, possibly, but Chris Barker coming back, fighting there on the bottom as they come back off the corner number 2, drag racing down the backstretch as it is, with Jason Kinney and Alec Bahiri fighting for 3rd position, as 1st and 2nd are battling up there in front of them on lap 11 here so far tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. And here comes Ace as he works his way up there to the bumper of the 20. Down here in the corner number 1, trying to figure out where exactly he wants to go as he's getting pressure from Johnny Hurst to try to keep that lane moving. And back a little farther, there is a little bit of a gap between that first group and the second group. As here trying to lead the second group is Jimmy Pilot as he's going around Chris Phillips down here in the corner number 1. Stephen Shu outside of Kai Shappert as they work through 2, back out onto the front stretch. I'm getting all flipped around, topsy-turvy here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. Barker there in 2nd, and we see John Houston having some connection issues on his end as well. So it looks like it's been a pretty common, and whoa, what a move there. Great job that luckily no net code as we might be having, there goes the 28 around as John Houston has blinked out and has caused an accident here as he's trying to get that car underway, and nobody knows where that car is, don't know where that car is ending up. All of a sudden it just started going in and out. A tough break there. We'll take another look if we can. And I've kind of noticed that there. We see the 28 down there on the bottom side. That is the 28 of John Houston. Down there on the bottom side. Not sure if he blinks out or if he blinks out, then gets tangled up with the 66. Ends up around a little bit. Oh, we were trying to follow his blinks. There he is. He's getting hit by Johnny Hurst going around in that 58. Ended up blinking in front. Gets tagged from the rear. Nothing really Hurst could do about that as he just didn't know where this 28 was going to reappear next. And there you see him back up there against the outside wall. Now he's skidding down. Somebody else is going to come in and make contact. I think that was Shappert that comes in and just made invisible contact there. Nice move there by Matt Gall, working his way through there. Tough break there for Houston. As we're under caution here from Texas Motor Speedway, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
All right, and we're back here, and we got the cameras kind of repositioned here as we got Texas Motor Speedway. What a shot there coming down the front stretch. You see them lights going down the fence post for the caution flag here tonight. Our first one, and that unfortunately is going to be on that man there, John Houston, for bringing out that yellow. And hopefully he can get that stabilized. It doesn't look like he does. Maybe it's him, maybe it's me. I'm not sure, as I know my skew is acting up as well. Seems to be a pretty common issue also at the moment of iRacing. But I know a better processor on my end will help me bring better control over the stuff on my end, as that's where it seems to be stemming from. Like I said, I have great internet. It's apparently just the problem on the PC end. As now we're getting really screwed up here. There we go. Now we're getting back to it. Run down through the grid. It's going to be Alex Bahiri as our control car here on lap number 16. With Chris Barker there second. Jason Kinney there third. Johnny Hurst sitting in fourth. Stephen Chu there fifth. Norman Root, not a bad job here tonight by that 80 machine, as he's currently sitting there in sixth. Matthew Gall up 6 positions from where he started, currently sitting 7th. James Wagoner up 4, currently sitting there in 8th. 9th going to Chad Hawkins at the moment, with Rick Baldwin rounding out your top 10 in that McDonald's fry machine. Chris Melton in 11th, with Chris Ramsey there in 12th. John Houston sitting 13th. Shepard there 14th. Ace back here 15th. And Rowdy, oh, come on, you. Why'd you do that? Rowdy sitting there 16th. Jeffrey Ledford in 17th as he's coming out of the pit. So we got about a half and half mix on the field on who come in for repairs and things, and half the field that didn't. So your first front 10 cars did not come in for a pit stop this caution lap. Pace car is off. We're getting ready to go here with the 20 of Alex Bahiri. Out front, Christopher Barker there second. And I'm showing everybody red for some reason. Green flag is out. We're racing once again down here in the corner number 1. Alex Bahiri with the lead. And Jason Kinney's looking to the inside of Jason Kinney. I'm sorry, Jason Kinney's looking to the inside of Chris Barker. Barker's out there on the high side, Kinney down there on the low side. We got the 58 of Johnny Hurst, who's up 10 positions from where he started, sitting here in fourth currently, looking to see if he can crack in the top 3 here before we hit quarter of the way through tonight's race at Texas. Down here in the corner number 1, Alex Bahiri still the leader. We're looking at the battles as they go on here. Stephen Chu there in 5th as he battles alongside Matt Gall and Johnny Hurst for that 5th position. Rick Baldwin putting the heat on to our newcomer tonight, Norman Root, as they come down here. And Norman's now coming up here, getting a great run off of 4, looking to the outside of Gall. Now they come down here in the corner number 1. It's going to be still Stephen Chu up here in 5th. And Alex Bahiri as your leader. That is going through the grid. Everybody single file now, but that 19 of Rick Baldwin's looking on that inside, trying to get that inside to work a little bit. And right behind him, a couple spots behind Rick Baldwin, is the number 30 of James Wagoner, back here in about 9th position. A lot of these drivers, especially drivers like James Wagoner, and that they know it kind of takes the place to win. Ace has been in that position before too, where they know what it takes to win. So right now it's still pretty early. We're not even a quarter of the way through the race yet. So you just want to take it easy as we're riding on board with the number 96 of Matthew Barker, otherwise known as Ace, and that James Wagoner welding machine. Chris Barker back here in second. Jason Kinney, third. Stephen Shue trying to make a run there for third as he's up there to the bumper of Kinney. Hurst falling back there to fifth as Shue gets around him. Now in the clutches of Matt Gall as he works off of 2 back onto the backstretch. I'm sorry. They're coming down the front stretch here. Across the stripe. Sorry, I trying to make sure I drink enough caffeine to keep myself awake here tonight. Along with all this exciting racing action, Alex Bahiri out front. Christopher Barker there second. Jason Kinney third. Stephen Shue fourth. John Hurst back there sixth. I'm sorry, fifth. John Houston sixth. So even though John Houston's had a connection problem, he's slowly working his way back up through the field here tonight as we got connection issues on our own side here in the booth. And that's pretty much our skew, like I said, that's being goofed up here in the later stages. We're going to try to reset that after the race here tonight as it wants a complete computer restart. Stephen Shue up there on the outside of Johnny Hurst as they work, or I'm sorry, John Houston, as they come off of corner number 4 back down through the tri-oval. And it's going to be lap number 25 on the board. When they complete this lap, we are going to be a quarter of the way through the racing action here this evening at Texas Motor Speedway for the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series. And if you're ever in North Carolina and need custom bed work done, go ahead and check out James Wagoner Welding in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They, as you saw in our previews and things, and at commercial breaks, they do all kind of custom truck bed work. So be sure if you need anything like that down there towards North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, be sure to check out James Wagoner Welding. Doing so much for the league, so much for the community around them. Definitely a pleasure to be associated with James Wagoner Welding. Alex Bahiri still out front as Christopher Barker is there second. John Houston here third. Jason Kinney in fourth. As Stephen Shue here fifth. And we got a battle brewing for 6th and 7th. That's between Chris Melton and Matthew Gall. As Melton's down there on the inside. Matthew Gall on the outside as they come through turn number 2. Back here out onto the backstretch. Looks like the 19 of Baldwin's going to try to get underneath the 58 of Johnny Hurst. Now that's Chris Melton now our big mover as he is up 12 spots in that number 49 machine. Coming down through the tri-oval back down here towards the turn number 1. Here on lap number 28 is what we're currently working on. Side by side, there they go. There's Melton getting around another driver. Going to put him up plus 12 from where he started. Now, if we remember correctly, Chris Melton's one of them ones that didn't qualify and ended up starting towards the back, and he's making his move up through the grid. Currently looking at that double, or that 8-0 again of Norman Root as he's trying to work his way up through the grid. Currently sitting there at 11th. Would like to try to crack the top 10 for his Roughneck Racing debut. Down here in the corner, number 1, they come once again. Or is that 2? Oh, corner number 3. I saw it up there on the outside board there for a flip moment. There you see the 4 down here, down in the corner, down through the triangle, and it's still John Houston. Oh, John Houston has recaptured the lead. Can he hang on to it though? As he is way out front. And that number 28, Alex Bahiri, there in second. Christopher Barker now moves up into second. And that Ninja Turtles machine down here underneath the 20 of Alex Bahiri. But Alex Bahiri giving a great run out there on the outside, not wanting to give up that second position too easily. Barker working down on the inside, still down here in the corner 3 and 4 here at lap number 31 of 100. I did that. I did do that. No, I watched him go. Down here in the corner number 4, it is still John Houston out, but here down here in second. Jason Kinney there third. Christopher Barker fourth. Stephen Shue there fifth. Chris Melton sixth. With Matthew Gall running around here in seventh. With Rick Baldwin there eighth. Kai Shepard ninth. John Hurst back here in 10th. John Houston hanging on to that lead as it stands right now, depending on his connection. I wonder if he got it kind of stabilized. Alex Bahiri there's second. There you see Jason Kinney. We'll see what type of exciting things the cameras say that is exciting. We got that number 80 of Norman Root back here behind Wagoner, as Wagoner is looking to the inside, now getting blocked by Johnny Hurst. As they come off of corner number 2, back here out onto the back stretch, a little bit of skew again. Yeah, we work down here in the 3 and 4. Johnny Hurst sitting there 10th. Rick Baldwin up 8 spots from where he started, and he's up there in that number 19 machine. There you see the 30 of James Wagner working his way up through the field, currently up 1 position from where he started. Jeffrey Ledford down 2. Biggest mover is going to be Chris Melton in that number 49 machine. As they work down here through the back stretch, down here in the corner number 3 and 4. There you see Pilon trying to work his way. There is the 80 of Norman Root sitting there in 12th. And he's got the veteran of Highland Rowdy back there behind him, right on his bumper as they work down here in the corner number 1. Front to back, they're still single file for the most part. Out front is John Houston. Second is Alex Bahiri. Jason Kinney there for third. Christopher Barker in fourth. Stephen Shue will round out your top 5. And starting in and rolling around in 6th right now is Kai Shepard. Chris Melton in 7th. Matthew Gall 8th. Rick Baldwin 9th. And in 10th, that's going to go to Johnny Hurst. Down here in the corner number 1. John. Down here through corner number 4, off of it. And looking to the outside of Barker, but not quite there, is Stephen Shue. As he's getting there up behind Chris, down here in the corner number 1 and 2, once again, that 46 out there in front of Stephen Shue in that 00. That 43 machine of Kai Shepard, though, he's gaining on the drivers as we're on board here with the 46 over Reward with Chris Barker. Coming down here in the corner number 2, and man, I'm getting irritated tonight. SPC of mine is really driving me up the wall today. Cost me races, cost me time, could cost me money in the long run. More than the money I need to put into it. So trying to keep my broadcast happy, trying to keep the sponsors happy. As you see up there in the top right of your screen, that is James Wagoner Welding. We appreciate everything they do. We got Mag Real Estate as well, along with Admin Box, coming together to help out, promote the league a little bit. As we work down here into corner number 3 and 4, back around to the front stretch. Coming around to the back stretch. Now that I saw the tag there in the corner, at 46 of Chris Barker down there below the 43 of Kai Shepard. There you see Jason Kinney out front in them, and he's currently sitting in 3rd. A lot of great racing going on here at lap number 40, closing in on halfway. Laps are ticking away pretty quickly here tonight. As we got the 49 of Chris Melton, Chris Barker there in 6th. Stephen Shue in 7th, Matthew Gall there 8th, Rick Baldwin in 9th, Johnny Hurst there 10th, Jimmy Fowler Rowdy there 11th, James Wagoner in 12th, Chris Phillips 13th, Jeffrey Ledford 14th, Chad Hawkins 15th. Alex Bahiri up here in 2nd. Kai Shappert third. Jason Kinney there fourth. Chris Melton fifth. Christopher Barker sitting sixth. Stephen Shue seventh. Matthew Gall in eighth. Rick Baldwin there ninth. Jimmy Pilon Rowdy now rounds out your top 10 with Johnny Hurst right behind him. Chris Melton in that 49, still our biggest mover as he's looking underneath Jason Kinney for that fourth position as they storm down here into corner number one. There you see Kinney and the 49 almost touch as they come down here into corner number one. And right behind the 49 is the number 46 of Chris Barker. As Chris there rolls up behind Jason Kinney, try to get a draft coming down the backstretch. As Kinney now looks on there in fifth, trying to keep Barker there behind him. But Chris Melton up 14 spots now from where he started in that 49 machine. 43 of Shappert now down here in the corner number one, chasing down Alex Bahiri. As Kai Shappert in that 43 machine looking really good, sitting third. As they come storming down here in the corner number three. Alex Bahiri right there in second. John Houston, though, rolling through four, and there is a big gap between him. There you see it, the gap between Houston and Alex as they come down through the tri-oval down here in the corner number one. There you see the 28 Krispy Kreme donut machine of John Houston. Back a little farther, that is Alex Bahiri with Kai Shappert on nipping at his heels. Chris Melton there fourth. Chris Barker there in fifth. Now sixth as Jason Kinney makes the pass on the outside coming down here into corner number three. But Barker's going to work back there on the inside once again. As they work off the corner, here comes the 78 of Matthew Gall back down here in the corner number one. They come side by side. It is still Barker down there on the outside. Barker's on the inside, sorry. Losing my car count here. My eyes are tired and shot today. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night as I no sooner fell asleep and then got woken up with our one dog having a little bit of a problem this morning. So didn't quite get the sleep that I was wanting as we're looking here at Alex Bahiri. Green flag pit stops are underway as Chris Barker, Stephen Shue, Rick Baldwin come into the pits. See if anybody else, Chris Hawkins coming in, see if anybody else comes in. James Wagoner a lap down is what it's showing here. That's because I missed James Wagoner coming in for a pit stop along with Norman Root. Norman Root has come in for a pit stop as well. And here comes Houston trying to get around Root down here in the corner number one. This may help some of the skipping out because this is going to spread the field out for a good ways. Here we'll go ahead and put the track map up and you can see just how much the field is going to be spread out after these green flag stops as we close in on halfway. The 29 of Pilon Rowdy's pitting this time, if I heard that radio transmission correctly. Down here through 3 and 4. And here comes the 29 of Pilon Rowdy. He's in the pit road. Chris Phillips sitting here in 6th. Alex Bahiri. We got a lot more coming to pit road. Jason Kinney coming out. Matthew Gall coming out. We got Chris Ramsey coming out. Stephen Shue still out on the racetrack after he made his pit stop. Jimmy Pilon there in 8th. Alex Bahiri coming in. That's the number 20 machine. So John Houston still out front in that first position. Kai Shappert there second with Chris Melton there third. I wonder when these leaders are going to come into pit road as we see the 58 of Johnny Hurst move back up here in the top 5. Up here in the 4th position. Now you got to see the type of spread that we get when we go through the field here. Down here in the corner, number 3, still looking at Johnny Hurst. Guy Shapper. Everybody lap down that's coming into the pits. We're waiting to see. Here comes Johnny Hurst in. Chris Phillips, Kai Shapper, John Houston. All 4 have not come into pit road yet here as we are over halfway of this race tonight in that James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 series here tonight. There we're looking at Kai Shapper, Chris Melton, one of our biggest mover, actually, up 15 spots from where he started out of this 18-car field. John Houston out front. And we're trying to... There we go. Kai Shapper there. That was the worst one yet here at halfway. James Wagoner Welding here tonight, bringing you the Gen 6 series in the Roughneck Racing League. Definitely appreciate everything James Wagoner and Doogie do for the iRacing community here at Roughneck and the surrounding community down there in North Wilkesboro. So Chris Barker falls a lap down as he made his pit stop. Now we got just 3 on the lead lap. And that is John Houston, Kai Shapper, and Chris Melton. What these drivers that are a lap down do not want to see is they do not want to see a caution. They would rather see John Houston, Kai Shapper, and Chris Melton come in for pit stops rather than a caution flag come out and allow them to pit under caution, because then they will all be caught lap down. So we got 3 on the lead lap. That's Houston, Shepard, and Melton. Barker, first car 1 lap down. As he's got Shu right behind him, so Shu could possibly become the first car 1 lap down. And I should have had that set the gap, but we didn't. Down here through 1 and 2. On to the backstretch. Shu trying to get up there to battle Barker. The last time Houston, Shepard, and Melton were on pit road was lap number 14. Shepard now up there with Houston, trying to see if he can get a run at him. Down here in the corner number 1. And while we got this going on, let me go and see if I can pull up something here just to give some interesting facts, if I may. If it works. You know how technology can be sometimes. So here in Texas, you know, I always like to try to give a little bit of a synopsis here. It's a 4-turn racetrack. Turns 1 and 2 are at 20 degrees. Turns 3 and 4 at 24 degrees. Front stretch, back stretch are at 5 degrees. Not seeing anything about the tri-oval. So the tri-oval must be there on the front stretch, all 5 degrees all the way through. As they come down here into corner number 1 and 2, that is that 20 degrees of banking. As it looks like Shepard's going to look at the inside of Houston coming down here into corner number 3. Coming around here, back around to the front stretch. Shepard down low. Houston up high. Coming off the corner, it is going to be Shepard bringing it to the front. Houston there in second. Chris Melton brings it to pit lane. So our biggest mover so far, that up 15 spots in the number 49. There's Chris Melton, John Houston back here, and then Kai Shepard still on the lead lap as they come down around the backstretch down here in the corner number 3 and 4. And looks like Melton's still on pit road. Kai Shepard still leads this race with John Houston right there behind him. Front to back for the top 10. It's going to be Shepard, Houston, Chris Barker, Stephen Shue, Alex Bahiri, Matthew Gall, Rick Baldwin, Jason Kinney, Jimmy Pilan, and Johnny Hurst running tonight here in your top 10. So just 2 cars on the lead lap here with 40 laps to go. Down here in the corner number 3, once again, it's James in the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series. You see Stephen Shue back there in 4th, Chris Barker there in 2nd, Kai Shapper out front. Well, looks be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving here as I'm trying to figure out exactly if Chris Barker and Stephen Shue are a lap down and they just unlapped themselves. So that is how that happened. Stephen Shue and that went and unlapped themselves here. Down here on the pit road comes Kai Shapper. That's going to hand it over to John Houston most likely. Unless Houston comes in this time. And if that's the case, then Chris Barker is going to end up with the lead. And this could be a turn of events here. If Barker holds on to it, could he put Shapper a lap down? Or does Shapper just end up falling back in line? I think Shapper will just fall back in line here. Shepard is coming out of the pits now. They're coming off of 2 down the backstretch. John Houston in. Six of Chris Phillips is still sitting in the pits, maybe trying to get some damage or a penalty served. Down here in the corner number 1 that come, that is the one and only 46 of Chris Barker and the 00 of Stephen Shue battling it out for 1st and 2nd here at lap number 64. Front to back, it's Barker, Shue, Bahiri, Kinney, Gall for your top 5. Piling Rowdy back here in 6th, but it looks like Gall is working on Kinney for that 4th position. As Gall is right there on the bumper as they work down here in. Down here in the corner number 3 and 4 they come as they come, or I'm sorry, through 1 and 2 as Gall gets around Kinney. Here comes Rowdy now in 6th position. He's going to look to maybe push a 3 wide maybe as they work on Kinney down here into the corner. Chris Barker and Stephen Shue still up front. Alex Bahiri there in 3rd. Matthew Gall here 4th. Biggest mover right now is Rick Baldwin in that number 19 machine as they come down here into corner number 1 and 2. Side by side was Kinney and somebody. Kinney and Rowdy were side by side. Kinney way up into that outside wall. Going to scrape it a little bit. It looked like coming off the corner down here. Back into corner number 3 with lap 67 here on the board. Come around onto the front stretch. They're going to put 69, 68 laps complete here at Texas Motor Speedway for the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series as we got Piling Rowdy going underneath Kinney. Kinney trying to run that higher groove as Alex Bahiri comes down here in 3rd. Stephen Shue 2nd. Where is Houston? Back here in 11th. So after him running getting in the pole, getting up there onto the, getting up there to leading so many laps. Now he's back here sitting in 11th. Question is, can he try to make any ground up? Is there another set of pit stops to be had? Or can they make it to the end as we're riding on board with Stephen Shu down here in the corner number 1 as he chases down that 46 of Chris Barker, who is currently our race leader here with 31 laps to go as they come through turns 1 and 2, and the skew's acting up once again. Chris Barker sitting there second. I'm sorry, Chris Barker sitting there first. Stephen Shu second. Alex Bahiri there third, chasing down Stephen Shu pretty quickly at that here as we hit 30 to go. Alex Bahiri right there on the bumper of Stephen Shu. Here we go. There comes Matthew Gall. Kai Shappert getting around down there on the inside, getting around Kinney and Pilon. Pilon and Kinney battling side by side. There's Melton as Melton now rolls up through. He's our biggest mover so far as it stands, as he is up to 8th and working on Pilon and Rowdy to try to bring in another spot for himself as they come down through the tri-oval. You got in those 4 drivers right there, Kinney, Rowdy, Melton, and Houston is a little farther back. So Houston slowly coming up through the field as he went from 11th back up here to 8th. Matthew Gall on pit road as the laps are lining down here at Texas Motor Speedway. Down here in the corner number 3, they come once again. Stephen Shu there in second. Chris Barker out front. Kai Shappert currently sitting 4th with Chris Melton there 5th. John Houston there 6th. Jason Kinney 7th with Jimmy Pilon Rowdy there in 8th. Rick Baldwin there 9th. Ace back here in 10th. As they come back off of corner number 2, coming slowly down to 25 laps to go here shortly as we're on lap 73 out of 100. There you see Alex Bahiri getting around Stephen Shu, and now he's working on working on Chris Barker for the lead. They come back down here in the corner number 1. Alex Bahiri now with the race lead, looking to see if he can catch up to Norman Root. Norman Root wasn't doing too terrible, but he got himself a little off grid here, sitting in 14th. He was running up front a lot more. As we're here on lap number 74, down here in the corner number 3, they go Alex Bahiri with Chris Barker there second. Stephen Shu there in third now, as Chris Barker drops it down there onto pit road. There comes Stephen Shu as well. So we do have more pit stops to go as Jason Kinney now drops it down here on the pit road as well. So that very well may help John Houston. If he stayed out that much longer, he may be okay to the end, but unfortunate there as we come through. I do not know if he is able to make it to the end or not. Kai Shappert there as well. Shepard's sitting there second. John Houston really trying to reel him in. Alex Bahiri out front, last pitted at lap 48. Lap 62 is whenever Kai Shappert pitted. John Houston pitted at lap 63. And we got Pilon Rowdy coming into pit lane. 25 laps to go on the board here at Texas Motor Speedway for the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series here tonight. John Houston down here in the corner. Chris Melton here in 4th. James Wagoner 5th. Jeffrey Ledford there 6th. Chris Ramsey there 7th. Chad Hawkins 8th. As Kai Shappert's there in 1st. And he's got Alex Bahiri chasing him down, but look behind him. That's John Houston. John Houston now working on Alex Bahiri. And you can see John Houston sitting second, 23 laps to go. Kai Shappert there in 1st. Alex Bahiri there 3rd. Chris Melton there 4th. James Wagoner moved himself up in the 5th in that number 30 machine. So Doogie sitting 5th, and right behind him, that's going to be Jeffrey Ledford in that number 01 machine. Chris Ramsey there in 7th with Johnny Hurst there 8th, Matthew Gall 9th, and Chris Barker in 10th in that Ninja Turtles number 46. Chad Hawkins on pit road, Norman Root on pit road. Late pit stops happening here in this one as we got 22 laps to go. A little bit more blinking out here. Kai Shappert there in 1st. John Houston there 2nd. Alex Bahiri here in 3rd. Chris Melton 4th. James Wagoner in 5th. 21 laps to go. .21 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Kai Shappert, our leader. John Houston there in 2nd. He's chasing down Shappert. Alex Bahiri, he's got company from Chris Melton. Chris Melton has had one heck of a night here as he's looking underneath of Alex Bahiri down here in the corner number 2, off of 2, down here onto the backstretch. 20 laps to go in the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series here tonight. Down the backstretch, here we see Alex Bahiri working on Chris Melton. Chris Melton actually working on Alex Bahiri as they work off of 3 and 4. 19 laps to go, coming to 18 laps to go now as they come down here into corner number 1. 5 cars on the lead lap as several had to make late race pit stops. As we got Kai Shappert out there in front. Well, I'm looking to see if Alex Bahiri and Jeffrey Ledford have enough fuel in their tank to make it all the way. Chris Melton, I would say, could possibly make it. John Houston and Kai Shappert, I think, have this one out there, so they're going to be up there in the front, too, if they can hold on to everything. Norman Root, hopefully he's had a great time. I know he's had kind of a up and down night as he's currently running 17th, and that looks to be about pitch strategy that kind of threw him for a loop tonight in that number 80 machine out there tonight as they head down here into corner number 3 and 4. Now we're on board here with John Houston. Coming down here in the corner. Now we got a little bit of a shake-up here. Not sure. This stupid thing getting worse here as the night goes on. I think that's because the processor is getting worn in here. And it's struggling more and more as the computer tries to work. John Houston back here in 2nd. Chris Melton there 3rd. Alex Bahiri in 4th. As you see, Bahiri, there he's got the 46 of Chris Barker right behind him. Chris Barker is a lap down. Johnny Hurst, though, is the next car that's got to worry about Alex Bahiri. It looks like Alex Bahiri could end up putting Johnny Hurst a lap down. So we got 4 cars now on the lead lap here as Kai Shappert is working through lap traffic, currently going around the number 13 of Chris Ramsey. Back here towards the middle, back of the pack. 14 laps to go here at Texas in the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series. Bunch of great racing going on, and once again, I'm sorry to all the viewers. Sorry for everybody out there who's trying to watch, and we had a few skips through the night. But we're doing the best we can to work through it. Like I said, we're trying to get money set aside here and there for a new processor and cooling unit for the PC. That is what we need here at Figure Farm TV to keep bringing you the races we love to bring you and keep us working here. As Kai Shepard up here in first. The other thing that you could find useful would be a secondary hard drive, a much bigger hard drive than what we got. That could possibly help some of the issue as well. As Chris Melton's up here to third, Alex Bahiri fourth, Chris Barker in fifth. As we roll through the corner, it is going to be Kai Shepard letting the 01 of Jeffrey Ledford by. That's also the 84. He's going to let them around. I do not think, though, he's going to let this man behind him around too well, though. And that is the number 28 of John Houston as they come down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Back out here onto the front stretch. As we were on board with John Houston coming through the corner number 3 and 4, down across the stripe. And you can see all the dirt and grime on that Krispy Kreme car from when he had his incident earlier. Connection issue on that 28 kind of took him and a few others for a loop. In fact, I believe Kai Shepard was one of the ones that was in that accident with him there towards the beginning of the race. So Shepard and Houston, who were both involved in that, are up here running 1-2. So great job by them, their pit crew strategies, and definitely the crews getting them back up there to the front and being able to lead 1-2 right now in the race here tonight. I'm not sure if they're teammates, so we'll check that right now. Find out if they're teammates or not. See, the way to tell is if they're in the same thing. And looks like I can't find Shepard or Houston in here. No. Oh, yeah, they are. They're definitely teammates. So, great job by them. Alex Bahiri is also a teammate, so they're in that number 20 machine. That is Afro Man Racing. Alex Bahiri would like to try to get up there to Chris Melton and bring that team home 1, 2, 3 if he can. As we're down to 9 laps to go here from Texas, Kai Shepard still leading the way. John Houston there second, Chris Melton third, and Alex Bahiri currently sitting there in fourth. Come on. In that number 20 machine. Trying to chase down the 49, but I just don't see it being possible because if you look at your nap, the 20 is coming across the start line now, and coming across the backstretch is the 49. So there's quite the amount of distance between those two drivers. About 11 seconds and climbing, 11 and a half seconds and climbing between third and fourth. So I just do not see that working out too well for them down here in the corner number 3 or 1 and 2 back down here onto the backstretch. There you see Houston and Shepard up there in front, Melton there third, Alex Bahiri fourth. And that is the standings right now. Top 5 will go to Chris Barker, as he is currently the first car 1 lap down here tonight. Kai Shepard still leading it with his teammate John Houston right there behind him. Chris Melton splitting up the trio as Alex Bahiri's back here in fourth. So Chris Melton doing what he can. He pitted at lap 58. Does he have the fuel to go to the end? That's what we're trying to see, as he is in the amongst of lap traffic. And it looks like 6 laps to go. Not sure what's going on here. Trying to see if I can figure something out. Chris Melton is still on track. A lot of banging and beating going on there for those couple cars, as Alex Bahiri is still trying to chase down Chris Melton. And like I said, I just don't know if it's going to be possible, as the 49 is still putting a gap on the 20 of Alex Bahiri. So Alex Bahiri most likely will end up finishing fourth here tonight. So it's coming down to these drivers, seeing who can get up there. And Melton would love to get up there and battle Houston a little bit. I don't know if Houston's going to really push too much there for Shepard, or let Shepard have this win, as Houston had the win last week. And down here in the corner number 3 and 4 they come. As everybody's getting back here, lined up into a more uniform position here with 4 laps to go. Chris Melton trying to get up there, is currently sitting third, but trying to chase down John Houston as Kai Shaffert's there in first. Chris Barker back here in fifth. Stephen Shue here in, well, it was in sixth, but Pylan now getting around him, bringing himself up there into that sixth position. Matthew Gall, he's going to see if he can gain himself a couple more positions back here with 3 laps to go here in the Roughneck Racing. And front to back, it is still going to be Kai Shappert, John Houston, Chris Melton there in third. Alex Bahiri having some connection issues possibly, as he is bouncing in and out everywhere in that number 20 machine. There you see John Houston there in second. So Alex Bahiri now considered a lap down. Not exactly sure what happened to Barry. It's showing him a whole lap down now. Currently sitting there in fifth. Down here in the corner, number 3. Kai Shappert, followed by John Houston, Chris Melton. Those are your top 3, and currently your top 3 on the lead lap. Barker up to fourth, but here he ends up falling back to fifth. Barker running down there along the backside of the 20. Alex Bahiri. So I'm unsure exactly what happened there with that. Oh, I'm sorry. Checkered flag is out. I'm too busy watching some of this other stuff. Kai Shappert has won the race here tonight, with John Houston there in second. Chris Melton brings it home third. Great job there by Melton and Shappert, 2 of our biggest movers here tonight. Tough luck for Norman Root, who dropped 12 positions. Hopefully he still had fun here tonight. Looked like it was a little bit of a battle of pitch strategy that went wrong. Oh, here we go. Kai Shappert, our winner. John Houston there second. We're going to go ahead and pull up the results here real fast. So Kai Shappert first, John Houston second, Chris Melton third, Christopher Barker fourth, Alex Bahiri fifth, Jimmy Pylan will finish tonight in sixth, with Stephen Shue seventh, Matthew Gall eighth, Jason Kinney there in ninth, Johnny Hurst there 10th, Rick Baldwin 11th, Jeffrey Ledford there 12th, James Wagoner for James Wagoner Welding will finish there in 13th. Matthew Barker also goes by Ace, will finish 14th. Chris Ramsey finishing 15th. Chad Hodkin 16th. 17th will go to Norman Root. And 18th tonight is going to go to Chris Phillips. And thank you for Puddle for doing the race control here this evening. I know the league really appreciates that now as we get a hold of. Figure out. I don't know if Chris Melton is here. He is not, so we're going to go ahead and get with John Houston. Good evening, John. How's it going?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing fairly well. Let's see. Yep, they're hearing you just fine. So, great job tonight bringing home second. I'm sure you probably were hoping for first, but your teammate brought it home instead, it looks like.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get first, but congratulations to Kai.
You guys seem to have a pretty good strategy. Were you concerned about fuel at all coming to the end, or did you think you had it pretty well worked out?
No, me and Kai was good on fuel because we pitted so late on that green flag run, so we was good on fuel.
So you're saying that whenever you pitted underneath that first caution that come out, that kind of worked in your favor a little bit.
Yeah, it did. And we had to come from the back. Me and Kai come from the back.
Well, you finished one spot below where you started. You knew you had a fast race car coming into the night. But kind of take us through a little bit there. I know both of you kind of got caught up early in that one caution. Can you kind of explain to the viewers what may have happened? It looked like a connection issue of some sort.
Well, I was trying to stay on the bottom and just let the guys go by me, and I was just going to find a gap. But I think there was another incident before that is what really brought the caution out. So, but my intentions was to let everybody by because I was having connection issues.
We definitely get connection issues up here in the booth as we were having our own skew issues, and I think it's boiled down to my processor needs replaced. So
I saw half the field tonight blinking, and then it's people that normally don't blink, like Alex. He normally don't blink.
yeah, I kind of saw that. Alex was really having a big problem there for a while, coming to the
Yeah.
checkered flag, and
Well,
it
he
looked
was
like it may
saving
have cost
fuel.
him a spot.
Yeah, Alex couldn't make it. He was saving fuel. He was thinking about pitting, and we told him, no, stay out, just save fuel, and you can make it to the end. You're only 4 laps short. So he was just crawling around the track.
Well, it definitely looked great out there. And you won last week, come home second this week, but the team still comes home 1-2, so that should be pretty good, right?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome to see Kuiper get his win. Which he knew he coming in, he was going to be fast here. We knew he was fast. Texas is one of his favorite tracks.
Well, what type of momentum can your team bring into Michigan next week?
Pretty much going to be the same thing. It's going to be about saving tires and dealing with the draft at Texas.
Well, hopefully you can deal with
thought-
that okay. And congrats again on your second place here tonight. Who's your sponsors and shout outs you'd like to give tonight?
I want to thank James Wagoner Welding for sponsoring our league, Roughneck Racing. I want to thank Miss Chantel for being the race control. Congratulations to Kai for his win. And I just want to tell Alex Bahiri that Krispy Kreme is a better donut.
Well, I'm sorry. I'd have to argue with that a little bit because I'm from Butler, PA here, and we have a local donut shop called Donut Connection. There's no other donut I have found like it. So,
Yeah, where I live, we don't have Dunkin' Donuts. We got Krispy Kreme.
oh no,
and
it's
Divine
not Dunkin' Donuts.
That's all we got.
It's not Dunkin' Donuts. I don't like Dunkin' Donuts. We have Donut Connection. It's a completely different entity from Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
And much better quality. They have a maple bacon donut that is just, oh.
My Lord, that sounds good too.
What's that?
That sounds good too.
Oh, they are delicious. They make and they're always fresh. Always fresh. They actually have had to close that store down a couple of times because they sold out before their closing time. So you arrive, even though it says they're open until 3, they're sold out of donuts.
Yeah, they can only make so many donuts a day.
Well, when it changed ownerships, I think they're still working it out. The previous owner had it open 24/7. You were able to go in 24/7 to get donuts.
Wow.
So, but congrats there on the second place tonight. We'll hopefully see you back on the podium next week at Michigan.
I'm going to do my best.
Alrighty, you have a great night there, Houston.
All right, thank you.
So that was Houston, our second place driver. And finishing in victory lane tonight is Kai Shapper. Kai, you there with us?
Yes, sir. Sure am.
Alrighty. Well, one fellow broadcaster kind of to another. I really struggled tonight on my end. I don't know what's going on with connection issues tonight on iRacing, but it seems like everybody's having them.
Yeah, I noticed. My first incident on track tonight was due to netcode on the front stretch, and just got John bouncing around due to the connection. So I'm sure it's an iRacing issue tonight. But
yeah, I mean, I saw John bouncing around. I saw Alex bouncing around. There were a couple others that were bouncing around that I normally don't see, bouncing around too much. And it's like,
Yeah,
something's going on. And I know on my end, part of it's due to the processor. I'm going to try to reset it here after the broadcast tonight. Hopefully that gets straightened out. But I know I need a processor rebuild at some point. But congrats on your win here, your victory here at Texas. I understand Texas is one of your more favorite tracks.
yeah, man, it was crazy. You got into that first incident that sent us to the back of the pack, used the fast repair really early, but I noticed a lot of guys just going too hard throughout the race, so I decided to kind of fall back. I passed a couple guys on the restart after the caution, but our car was super fast tonight. We were running 3/4 of a throttle running behind these guys, saving some fuel and saving some tires, and man, that first run really good, really solid after a crappy start, and then that second run, man, the Chevrolet powered car just did not want to slow down and all the way to the front.
Well, it almost seemed like even though you had that incident, in some ways it helped your pitch strategy a little bit tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of forced me into it a little earlier than I wanted. I think the biggest mistake was those that decided to stay out that were faster. Man, with the clean racing that we've had around here lately, you got to take those cautions as a blessing and really take advantage, get on those fresh tires. And I saw John, he started in the back with me, and he made it all the way to the front too.
Yeah, you and Houston finished 1-2 tonight.
Crazy.
Yeah, and part of that was due to that pitch strategy. It helped you guys out. I mean, if you go back and watch the broadcast again, sorry for the choppiness of it here and there. We're working on that on my end, trying to get, like I've been telling the viewers all night, trying to get the money saved up to get that fixed. And I mean, it was a great battle up there, great race to watch. And you guys just pretty much minded your own. You weren't really pushing yourselves too hard. It's almost like you guys understood that you guys were in a pretty good position with the pitch strategy.
Yeah, honestly, I think roles would have been reversed if John's pit stop wouldn't have been so slow. I probably would have been chasing him, and probably same thing. 1-2, that bottom lane on 3 and 4 was just too dominant. I did notice one thing: if you guys are out there and you're racing in the league, run it a little shallower into 1 and 2, and that exit is just, man, it's deadly if you get that clean exit off the bottom of 1 and 2. Yep.
It was definitely fun to watch, and I'm sure they'll be looking forward to seeing the truck race Wednesday night here from Roughneck. I'm sure that's always a great show, as always. Correct?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you?
Oh, there we go. Yep, I got you again. You cut out for just a second.
I was saying that the truck race is Wednesday night, and you've been kind of broadcasting that, haven't you?
Yes, sir. Been doing the truck series over here, over at Roughneck, and it's been awesome.
A lot of great racing over there. I haven't really paid too much attention to it as I've had other obligations. Hopefully I can get back over with the Roughneck guys and become full-time, but we'll see how well it works out for us. But congrats on your win here tonight, and look forward to seeing that more.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you up here in the booth.
Who's your sponsors and shout-outs you'd like to give?
My teammates like to run competing coffee companies and donut companies, but I got to send a huge shout-out to my wife. We're 1 week away from due week. So probably going to take a little break on the racing. And then James Wagoner Welding, being from Texas, Mag Real Estate, super excited for them to be our title sponsor on the Wednesday Night Truck Series. And Lift Bodies and you guys here at Flieger Farm TV, appreciate you guys letting me broadcast my win to the friends and family back home.
Well, it's definitely a pleasure here. We definitely enjoyed doing it. Just hopefully we can get a little better here with our figuring out our equipment, but I know that'll come in time. But it was fun to watch, and we worked through it and brought the best show we could here tonight. And congrats again on your win.
Cool, man. You have a good night, and you take care.
You too there. So that was Shepard there, our winner this evening in the number 43 machine. As we get set to go to our next stop this week is going to be with Old Glory Racing on Wednesday night. And tonight, like we said, it is the Roughneck Racing, bringing you the James Wagoner Welding Gen 6 Series, and we are proud to present James Wagoner Welding as the sponsor here tonight, and for a lot of what the league goes through as well. So definitely appreciate all they do out of North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. With all that being said, everybody have a great night. We really enjoyed bringing this to you. Hopefully everybody enjoys what else is set to come.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.